So I've been giving myself these sewing challenges, one per month, just for fun. And the first one I did was in October of 21, which I called the Arcana collection, because I was sewing out of tarot flag tapestries. This ended up being my favorite. I call it the Power Jacket, wink wink. And I did use a commercial pattern. That was a simplicity pattern for an unlined jacket. And if the pieces didn't fit, I would just use remnants from other flags and shift the direction so that it kind of looked more card-like, like it was being assembled and pieced together. After I cut my pieces out, including interfaced them where needed, I really just followed the instructions of the pattern, sewing down those ever important pockets and sewing down the seams on the inside as well, because this was unlined. I used black thread for any of my top stitching, also to just sort of heighten the whole card look, and then hemmed the bottom. Here's the final look. I love the way the colors play together, and that linen is going to be so nice in the summer. Stick around for the other look videos. Welcome to October's Arcana collection, where I'm transforming tarot tapestries into power pieces. Next up, it's the Moon, a full-size tapestry of about 5 feet by 7 feet printed on a very thin cotton. Now, I'm going to go ahead and use a commercial pattern because I love this mod 60s look. So the first step is to cut out all of my pieces, serge those raw edges, hello wolf, and sew according to the instructions and using interfacing where needed for structure. After I insert my zipper, I can go ahead and try it on and adjust for fit. I have a narrow back, who knew? And I do believe in using as many scraps as possible, and that dresses without pockets are evil, so I was able to kill 2 birds with 1 lobster, as the saying goes, and still have leftovers for masks. Here's the final look. I love all of the crescent and half moon shapes that came into it. Stay tuned for more pieces in the Arcana collection and the final lookbook. For the sun dress in the Arcana collection, I've decided to make a tiered baby doll style dress with a shirred bodice to help with the thinness of the fabric. I don't need a pattern, I'm just going to measure out how big I want each tier, cut it out, and then keep the 3 tiers separate, leaving a thin strand for straps. I overlock the sections, then turn the bottom 2 tiers into loops and set a gathering stitch along the top. Now to shirr the top of my bodice, I'm going to need to wind my bobbin with elasticized thread by hand. What I love about shirring is that it makes dresses really size inclusive and helps with thin fabric. What I hate about shirring is that it takes forever and ever and ever until finally you have something like this. Then I can close up the back with a zigzag stitch and it's time to attach the 3 layers. I forgot to record making the straps, but basically I just used that last strip to make 4 equal straps, mark where I wanted them, and then attached. Here's the final look. I love that it's size inclusive and a 0 waist dress. Stay tuned for more looks from the Arcana collection. Okay, so you know how there's sometimes that project that makes you regret starting a sewing project in the first place or makes you wish you never learned how to sew? Yeah, unfortunately that is this one. So for the star dress, I thought because I used a pattern on the first one and not on the second one, I would pattern hack this third one. The thing is, I am in no way qualified to do this. I look very official doing it, using my rulers and such, but not so much. Anyway, I focused on cutting this midsection out of the letters so that would be front and center, and then used the rest of the pieces to make a longer skirt, sort of a high-low, the infamous mullet skirt, as it were, and pieced together some bodice along with tie straps. Since I didn't show how I made ties in the last one, I did a lot here. Then I sewed some loops, tried it on, attached it where I needed it, and adjusted that high-low back. Here's the final look. It looks okay on a dress form, but not great in person. Let's hope that the next one goes better. Welcome back to the Arcana collection. My favorite piece is still the small tapestry jacket, and so I wanted to make one for my friend, especially after I found these fabulous cat tapestries. However, she's much more of a jumpsuit person. Hopefully, she just doesn't mind having creepy cats stare into her soul. Anyway, I sewed according to the pattern's instructions. Here I am making darts and finishing the bodice. You also have to top stitch the seams down because it is unlined. Then I made the shorts separately, having to sub out a bigger pocket with Soros. I'm thinking maybe something got lost in translation there. Anyway, I have to finish the armholes and the collar with bias tape. Then I sew the shorts to the bodice and insert a zipper, which I forgot to show. But here's the final look. You can't really tell it's tarot unless you're looking hard and know what you're looking for, but I think my friend is going to rock a cat romper no matter what. So make sure to like, subscribe, and tune in for the final lookbook. Welcome back to the Arcana collection. Now, when I was buying these tapestries to turn into looks, there were these three from the Major Arcana, which for some reason is a different color palette and printed on a different fabric than the ones I used for the jacket. I thought, therefore, it would be a great opportunity to go to my local thrift store and do a no-sew project. Here I am, I found a jacket that matches the color palette pretty well, and I'm cutting out the center back. Now, a quick disclose about no-sew is that I'm not much of a no-sewer. In fact, because I'm a so-sewer. Maybe I'm a so-so no-sewer. Anyway, I've glued the tapestry into the back of the jacket and then weighed it down overnight with a very seasonally appropriate weight. I still had some leftover tapestry at this point, so I went ahead and glued the name Temperance to the front of this panel, and then I cut out the panel afterwards. Here's the final look. I'm surprised. I actually really like how this turned out, but I know this isn't the best tutorial on no-sew, so sorry. Hey, welcome back to the Arcana collection. Now I have 2 tapestries left, and I think they're really good tote bag size. There are much easier ways to make a tote bag than you're going to see me do here, but I'm cutting it to the length I want and then edge finishing it, using that cut off piece at the end to form the 2 sides. When I sew those on, it's going to sort of form this tube. There is the tube. And now I just need to attach a bottom. I'm taking the scrap fabric that I cut away from the jacket, actually. Haha, there it is. Also edged finished that to keep it strong. And then I sew along the long sides first, then the short sides. And because I didn't do a super great job, I'm also just reinforcing the corners. All totes need straps, and I have a lot of scraps, so here I am just sewing them into straps and then looping them through the tapestry holes that were already there, tying knots, and we're good to go. Here's the final look from the final 2 tapestries.